I recently started eating breakfast, and it's honestly the best thing I've ever done for my bloating, my digestion, my mood, my energy levels. And as a breakfast newbie, I've really been trying to figure out what is the perfect breakfast. What's gonna get me energized and keep me full and just keep me in a good mood, but also not weigh me down and just like make me feel bloated and sluggish all day. I think I finally nailed it, and I'm gonna share it with you today. Okay, I have some water heating up. I'm not quite boiling it. I'm gonna get it to like a 96 degrees Celsius, so almost boiling for our drink. And then we're gonna make our actual brekkie. Okay, the water is almost ready. So while that heats up, let's get our broth going. So this is basically a variation on a miso soup. I'm calling it the triple C soup because it's cleansing. It's, what the fuck does that say? Oh, contouring. Okay, so I was writing down my notes. You know what, fuck it, we'll just throw them all in there. Or is that too much? Whatever, who cares? This is such a forgiving recipe. I was writing down these notes while walking on Ozzy's trackpad. So I literally, like, hold on, I'll show you. I actually cannot read my own handwriting. Like it looks like a doctor wrote it. So I'm just doing like a handful of these smaller kelp pieces. And then, oh, I forgot to say why it's triple C soup. Can you tell it's my first episode back from Australia? Like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. This is snow fungus, by the way. I want to use all the giblets, as I like to say, which by that I mean like the crummy bits. You're technically supposed to soak the snow fungus first, but I didn't do that. I haven't been doing that and it's been fine. So I think we'll all live. So it's cleansing, as in like, you know, elimination. It's contouring, as in it'll help you like not feel as puffy. And it's collagen boosting. And actually this guy right here is responsible for the collagen boosting effects. It's the snow fungus. Let me add some water to this. Let's get it on the stove and let's get our tea going too. Might do a bit more. Woo. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, I really have not recorded in a while. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Let's do the tea first. There's one ingredient that I forgot for the broth. Alrighty. So we're gonna do an Earl Grey situation. I'll tell you more about the tea once I put the broth on the stove, but let's just get our Earl Grey steeping. Oh, that smell is insane. I'm not gonna make it too strong because it's like late as fuck. I'm actually, not to break the fourth wall too much, but honestly, this episode's such a disaster. I feel like I have to. I'm recording this on the snowstorm day, and I was really scared that I would lose power, but I decided that if I do lose power, that'll kind of be like iconic. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, that was like 96 degree water. I see very mixed things on what temperature you should steep Earl Grey at. So that's just what I did. You know, quick little life hack. I usually refill my kettle every time I empty it, but I feel like we don't have time for that right now. Okay, so I decided I wanted to add a rhubarb to this soup. So it's very similar to a miso soup. Like, it's basically a miso soup, obviously vegan. So we're not doing like a traditional dashi broth for it. The difference is that it's vegan and that we are adding rhubarb, and the snow fungus is also different because that's not a traditional thing in miso soup. Now, as I mentioned, or did I mention rhubarb is seasonal? Rhubarb is like super, super seasonal. Like, it's really hard to get it out of season. I happen to have some in my freezer. Also in New York, sometimes you can get like weird things out of season. Like it's just like there's just more stuff. But if you can't get rhubarb and you didn't pre-plan and get it in your freezer, which by the way, rhubarb season is in a few months in the Northern Hemisphere. So let this be a lesson to all of us to stock up on rhubarb when it's in season. But if you don't have it, you can use plums or apples instead. I think those are the best alternatives. All right, let me get this guy on the stove. Now, because I'm using a donabe, I'm gonna start with it being on very low temperature and then very gradually increase it. I wouldn't do that if I was using a regular pot. So just so you know. All right, let's do the rest for our drink first. Okay, I am so fucking excited for this part of it. So we're gonna make a little date caramel for our drink. Now this is kind of engineered for the Earl Grey specifically, but I also am fully planning on using it in my coffee. By the way, I bought an espresso machine. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, maybe not later in this episode, maybe later in another episode. We'll find out together when we actually end up talking about it. But yeah, I'm really fucking excited about this date caramel. So we're gonna make a lavender, blood orange zest, vanilla, high protein date caramel. And with that, we're gonna make a drink that I'm titling a Manhattan Fog, which could be a real thing. Is that a real thing? I hope it's not a real thing. Fuck, is it a real thing? It just sounds so real. Maybe I'm thinking of like a Manhattan, like the cocktail. Wait, should I ask chat? Hey, is there a real drink called a Manhattan Fog? Because I'm inventing one, but I'm just curious. It just sounds so real. I know there's a London Fog, and I know that a Manhattan is a cocktail, but is there a Manhattan Fog? Is that a thing? While he takes 45 minutes to respond, let's make this date caramel. Okay, so we're gonna start by blending 1 cup pitted medjool dates with 1 cup of this soy milk. I know I say it all the time, but it has to be this soy milk. It's the unsweetened Eden soy. What I really like about it is that its only ingredients are literally soybeans and water, nothing else. And the other thing I really, really like about it is that it has a 10% protein ratio. So by that I mean its protein to calories ratio is 10%. Oh my gosh, I'm having like a full brain lapse moment. Also, these dates are really dry, so we'll see how this goes. Also, I got a new fucking Vitamix. Last time we talked, I had no blender. Remember Blendergate 2025? Yeah, that shit's fucking over. I got a new Vitamix. I'll link the one that I got. I actually got a bundle, so it comes with a food processor attachment, which I have not used yet. I also got the stainless steel blending cup for it, but I'm not using it right now because I want you to be able to see inside of the blender better than you'd be able to if I did it. So first we're gonna blend these together and then we're gonna add the other shit and blend everything together. So let's fucking go because mama's thirsty. Okay, now that these have blended, we are gonna add our extracts. Jesus, there's something mentally wrong with me. So I'm gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of the lavender, and I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of, this is vanilla, right? Yeah. I also have coffee extract by this brand, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't fuck that up because that would suck. Now, what I really love about this date caramel is that it has a lot of protein from the soy milk. It has the sweetness from dates, which is great because they still have fiber. So it's not gonna hit you the same way like a plain sugar or even like the healthier sweeteners like maple syrup, etc. do. The fiber slows the digestion, which is great for blood sugar balance. And then the lavender extract is obviously like a little bit soothing and relaxing. And then the blood orange zest, which we're gonna add once we blend this in, that has a lot of vitamin C. And also I think that orange peel is great for stimulating bowel movements. I've heard that. I don't know how studied it is. Plus it's just like really fucking good. And it's chic, it's elegant. Like you're not just drinking tea, you're drinking, it's a whole fucking experience. Like it's something you would get that, oh wait, I just sounded so New York when I said that. It's a whole fucking experience. But seriously though, it's like something you would get at a very elegant cafe. All right, let's blend this guy up a little and then we will add our orange zest, yeah? All right, here's our, oh my God. Really caused a crisis here. Here's our blood orange. So we're just gonna use about 1/4 to 1/2 of the zest. Okay, I didn't do that right. The glove goes, no. What is wrong with me? Okay, no, the glove goes on the hand that's doing the zesting so that I don't microplane my fingers because I have done that in the past. Now, the reason I already blended everything else up and I'm just adding this as the very last step is I don't want to blend it up too much because ChatGPT said that would potentially make it not taste good. So that's why I'm doing it like that, just so you know. That smells so fucking good, by the way. It's like, oh my God, beautiful, stunning. Yeah, that's enough. Like I'm zesting too much, quite frankly. All right, we're just gonna give this the quickest blend of all time. Okay, I'm just gonna get the blender out of the way because this is the only thing we're doing with the blender. Wait, shit, I should taste this. What am I doing? That is fucking insane. Also, can I just say something? It legit tastes like caramel. Also, another thing that you can do to make the flavors a little bit better is just adding the tiniest pinch of salt. The only reason I didn't do this is because we're gonna have so much miso in the soup that I just didn't wanna, like I'm a very pro salt kind of person within reason, but I just didn't want to overdo it. Also, something that came in my new Vitamix bundle, the best fucking thing ever, hold on. It's a Vitamix spatula. Now, do I wish they had it in beige? Yes, I do. But it makes it really easy to scoop things out under the blades, especially on this new one. I feel like the blades are sturdier in a way. I don't know if it's because like my old one was just old or if the new ones are built different. Wait, have you seen that TikTok? It's like a dude, like a big strong dude who also this like caramel is flying everywhere except for inside this jar. That's insane though. That's easily one of the best fucking things I've ever had. It's like this big strong dude. He takes an egg and puts it like here and like smashes it and goes, I'm built different. And then it's stitched with this girl who's like the skinniest girl you'll ever see. Like she looks like she's 12 and like so scrawny, and she does the exact same thing. And then I can't explain what she does, and she just kind of goes, that's not it. I can't explain what she does. It's really funny. Also, I really want to try not to swear in next week's Splash Kitchen. We'll see how it goes, but I'd love to be able to send it to Ozzy's family, and like there's no way I can send them an episode where I say cunt and shit and fuck every 3 words. Also, I'm actually, who was I talking to about this the other day? I was talking to someone, not in a normal setting either. It wasn't like a normal, like casual conversation. It was like someone at the post office, like someone who worked at the post office, or a situation like that where I was like, yeah, I'm trying to swear a little bit less. Not that I mind the swearing at all. Like I actually think it's really funny, but when it's excessive, it just starts to get kind of gross. Like it's a little, you know what, if that doesn't get me views, I don't know what will. Maybe that? Is that doing it for you guys? I'm just kidding. Okay, we're gonna take a 45-minute intermission for me to put my face all the way inside this blender and just lap it up like a dog. And then we'll do the rest of the episode. I hope that works for you guys. Okay, we're almost ready for this drink. I'm gonna use the milk frother on my espresso machine because I don't want the milk just frothed. I also want it hot. Also, I've been having a lot of issues with the milk frother. It's been by far the most challenging part of having an espresso machine for me. It just seems to kind of go ape shit and splash the soy milk everywhere. So I'm trying to figure out, now I think part of the problem before was I was using too little milk, but I don't know, I just can't really seem to get it to ever be right. Sorry, it makes this insane sound every time you turn it on for no apparent reason. Like it's beyond me why it would possibly make that sound. Ooh, there's an espresso martini option. Milk only, yeah, that's what we want, baby. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm actually terrified. I mean, so far so good. Oh, it's steaming. Okay, now that that's done, we can actually have a conversation. I can't believe this is like, have you ever had a health issue and you go to the doctor and then of course like the day that you're at the doctor talking about your health issue, you don't have the health issue anymore, like it's not showing up, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like dogs always do this. Like when there's something wrong with your dog, it's like, of course, when you take them to the vet, they're acting completely normal. And can I just tell you something about my little bitch? So she's been having this cough issue, right? And I say little bitch in like the most affectionate, sweet way possible. And I've been trying to get videos of it for the vet, but I haven't been super successful. And the other day we're at the vet and I'm like kind of describing it. And by kind of describing it, I mean, I'm on the floor on all fours reenacting her cough. Like the vet was like, I feel like your words would suffice. Like, I don't think this is necessary. I did that once at the vet in McLean with my parents. Hold on, I'm just gonna... Okay, I just wanted to kind of mix in that caramel real quick. Yeah, one time, and it was about a cough again. That time she actually had kennel cough. Okay, thank you, I understand. Okay, let's do this, yeah. Oh shit, I needed that. I needed that, it's gonna curdle. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, Sam had a kennel cough. And so I take her to the vet and I'm like, again, on all fours reenacting the types of coughing sounds she's making. And my mom thought it was the height of comedy. Specifically, I'll tell you exactly what my mom thought was really funny. Hold on, let me just drink this. Okay, that is hands down the best drink I've had. I do need to adjust my ratios though. I need more Earl Grey in that, like way more Earl Grey in that, but that's fucking insane. Also, this kind of looks like I'm just drinking like steamed milk. You know what I think would have been really cool if I had done it and not fucked it up like an idiot? I think it would have been cool if I maybe added like ube powder to the milk so that this whole thing could be purple. Let's pretend I did that, yeah? So we're at the vet and I was like, yeah, she like coughs like, and then sometimes she makes this one sound, she'll go, and my mom lost her shit. She thought it was like the funniest thing she's ever seen. Like truly to my mom, that was the height of comedy. She had kennel cough that time. Anyway, but this particular time, so she did not have kennel cough. I'm sweetening it more because that's fucking insane. That caramel, like there just are no words. Like I don't really know what to say. Like it's so fucking good. So we're like finished with our vet appointment basically, and the vet's about to walk out, and all of a sudden Sam starts doing the exact coughing thing in the exact way, like the exact sequence, etc. And it honestly, it felt like she was like, this is what my mom was talking about, just so you know. It was the sweetest thing in the world. But yeah, to bring it back around, I feel like the espresso machine not, you know, having its usual seizure, little callback to Housewives of Salt Lake City, is kind of giving how, like, the thing that you complain about, or like with your computer, right? Like you go to get your computer fixed and then the thing that it was doing wrong, it's like not doing when you go get it fixed. Okay, you get the point of what I'm trying to say. Another thing with the caramel, I didn't do it today, but I think that this is a great place to add in any sort of powders. Like if you use like mushroom powders, like not like psilocybin, I mean like reishi, chaga, stuff like that, or ashwagandha, or, you know, just any of those like adaptogen things, you know how like beginning of this year, I feel like the whole going back to 2016 thing was a trend. That's very 2016. I love this drink so much. Okay, I do feel like we kind of have to move on with the episode, otherwise we're gonna be here all day. Wow, this really looks like dog shit. I love that for us. Okay, this broth is about ready for next steps. But real quick, I just want to talk about this tea. So I think it was the first Blush Kitchen of this year, where I talked about there was a recent study on hot beverages. So ever since that, I've been trying to incorporate more hot beverages. And when I tell you, my whole life has fucking changed. I just constantly have on pots of tea. In the morning, I'll do a lot of like green tea and caffeinated teas. And then I just realized how like stupid my sleeves look, so I'm gonna try to fix. So something I do to hold my sleeves up, and this is why everyone came here, is I'll put a rubber band, like a hair tie. I mean, it doesn't matter, it could be a rubber band up to hold it, but you have to roll it around. Otherwise it just looks stupid. I look stupid. Okay. Let me call myself stupid a few more times for no reason. What is wrong with me today? Okay, so in the morning, I'll do a lot of green tea. Like I'll do like 2 pots, like these things filled with green tea. And then in the evening, I do a lot of sobacha, honestly. That's my favorite tea. It's roasted buckwheat tea. It's insane. It's truly, like the first time I had sobacha, I was like, wait, why does this smell like cake? But I'll sometimes feel like this urge to poo kind of immediately after having a pot of just like, it's hot beverage. So that's really what's doing it. So apparently warm liquids, especially in the morning, stimulate the gastrocolic reflex, which is essentially, I think, just like the urge to poo. But I want to tell you more about this beverage specifically. So the Earl Grey has caffeine plus L-theanine, which just has like gentle energy. And also there's just through like the dates and the tea and everything, there's a lot of antioxidants and polyphenols, which help reduce inflammation, including in your skin, in your gut, etc. The vitamin C from the blood orange boosts collagen production, although I'm not 100% sure exactly how much vitamin C is in orange peel versus just the flesh, but that's neither here nor there. But it helps boost collagen production and hydrates and, what the fuck does that say? And brightens the skin. Lavender reduces stress, which is great for bloating and skin congestion. And the soy milk has tons of protein, which is really important for collagen synthesis, and also satiety. Now, I don't know if you're on the like Chinese TikTok algorithm. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like the Are You Chinese, or like we're all gonna be Chinese now, like how to be a Chinese baddie, that algorithm. If not, I highly recommend it. Like it's amazing. And not to brag, but a lot of that shit I already do, because I just grew up in a household where, I don't know, like my parents are really into that shit. Like my parents started going to acupuncture well before it was cool, you know? Like again, not to brag, like we've always had tiger balm in our house. Okay, let's just move right along. But in traditional Chinese medicine, they always talk about how you should have warm breakfasts and drink lots of warm beverages. And in fact, they're really anti anything cold or raw, including salad. Like they say, like, don't eat salad, only eat warm foods, which I think is really, really interesting. And I've been embracing it more and more, which is so interesting because there was a point in my life where literally literally all I ate were melons, and like, look how far we've come, you know? But apparently there is a lot of modern science to back this up. So warm foods and beverages increase blood flow, which helps the enzymes, like the digestive enzymes, work faster. It helps break food down efficiently, which also reduces bloating. And what in the fuck does that say? I think it's HEA. HEAL. Okay, that's great. It reduces bloating and healing. So look out for that. I don't know. I actually don't give a shit anymore. Whatever, it reduces bloating. It also helps improve gut motility and lymph flow, which I thought was really fucking interesting. But yeah, like, give hot beverages a try. Like, that's actually a big part of why I bought an espresso machine, because the way I was making my drinks before, I was having my coffee cold and I was like, we're Chinese now. We're not doing that anymore. Okay, let's just like go ahead and move on to our triple C soup, which also took me 45 minutes to get out. It's hot as fuck. Alrighty. Now, I will say one of my bigger regrets in life is not adding plum to this, because I'm worried with just rhubarb, it's gonna be a little bit too sour, and I think it would be better if there was a little bit more sweetness. Actually, in traditional Persian medicine, but I think that versions of this are also echoed in Ayurveda and in traditional Chinese medicine. But when you have a combination of sweet and sour foods, they say it's really good in traditional Persian medicine specifically. By the way, all I'm doing right now is just taking out the shiitake caps because we're not gonna leave them in. So in traditional Persian medicine, they say when you have a combination of sweet and sour flavors, that's really good for quote unquote like cleansing the gallbladder. I think it just means like supporting bile flow and stuff like that. And also like cleansing the liver and for clearing congestion and for clearing your skin and stuff like that. I personally just love a sweet and sour flavor profile, but also rhubarb is quite literally a miracle for pooing. Like if you're even a little bit constipation prone, I do recommend trying it. The only thing is I do not recommend having it in supplement format, because it can be one of those things that becomes super habit forming, just like, even though it's natural, right? Like senna's natural and it's used in a lot of those like detox teas and stuff like that. But senna, like you can become very dependent on senna. I'm trying to get out all the shiitake caps before we add in our wakame. Now I'm gonna leave the kelp in there. It has a lot of nutrients and I personally love the flavor, and it's in these really small pieces. So like, what's the issue, you know? Was that all the shiitake we used? Who counted? Yeah, seems good enough. Whatever. Okay, let's add in, just making sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, we're gonna add in some wakame. You would not believe, let me show you. Can you see that? What the fuck word is that? I actually know it says jars because like I know what I was trying to say, but if I didn't know, it would be like healing egg or whatever the fuck that word was. I want to do a little more wakame. Ideally, this wakame is going to unfurl itself a lot. So I was doing some research into what they actually eat for breakfast in China and in Korea and in Japan. And there is a huge emphasis on broths, soups, and heated grains, things like, is it congee or kongi? Who knows? But even like having like any sort of warm porridge situation rather than overnight oats. And you know what's funny? I nearly did that. Okay, first of all, I nearly made this a whole Super Bowl episode, and then I was like, none of us give a shit, right? Like literally none of us give a shit. Cool, cool, cool. I'm glad we covered that. And then I was like, oh, let me do this like sick overnight oats thing, because I started making overnight oats in this really cool way. Same thing with chia pudding. So for the liquids, I do mostly coconut water with a bit of the soy milk, and it's actually so yummy. It's very light in sweetness, which I love. And it's just like delicious. So I was like, amazing, I'll teach them that. And it's very flavor neutral, which I love because then you can combine it with different flavors and stuff. But like, I just don't want that cold breakfast, you know, like the warm breakfast is so much fucking better. Like I just feel so much more grounded and satiated and, you know, all the good yummy things. Yeah, I just want this wakame to unfurl itself a little bit more. But I think we're almost there. I'm, by the way, giving myself a facial standing over this steam. Okay, I think she is ready for some miso. Holy shit, that's hot. By the way, while this was on the stove, I took some kitchen shears and I forgot something, hold on. I took some kitchen shears and I just cut up that rhubarb a little. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking a little bit of this broth, ladling it into this matcha bowl actually, and I'm gonna whisk in my miso here. And then we'll combine it with the rest. Okay, this is getting really hot. It's actually really fucking hard to hold. Holy shit. Towel. So it has a lot of soluble fiber from the snow fungus and the wakame, and the whatever fruit you use is going to have a lot of soluble fiber. All three of those do. Plus insoluble fiber from the kelp, and it's just like a fuck ton of water. So it's super, super hydrating. And the combination of that is what really gives you like smooth, easy poos. So it creates bulk with the soluble fiber, and the hydration and the lubrication comes from the insoluble and the water. So that combination really just helps move the bowels. Plus, miso has probiotics for healthy gut bacteria, plus the sea veggies, plus whatever fruit you end up using have gut motility stimulating effects. Jesus, it's so hard to read my notes there. And the snow fungus, now if you didn't watch an episode we did a few months ago, snow fungus, I think is also called tremella mushroom. They call it vegan hyaluronic acid. It has these polysaccharides that help really hydrate the skin from the inside out and support collagen production. It's truly one of the best things that you can eat for your skin. That's why we added it in there. And then the sea vegetables are really, really rich in minerals, especially iodine, but also like trace minerals that really support thyroid health, which like, you know, we all want to support our thyroid, but also thyroid really affects things like mood and energy and skin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I want to do a decent amount of miso in here because, you know, we need it. Oh, also rhubarb and plum specifically almost have like a natural laxative effect. I've talked about it. But also apple, all three of them are really rich in pectin, which is great for your skin. I think pectin is also good for your gut health. Hold on, let's see what I wrote down here. Yeah, I wrote helps with skin and gut. It's great for skin clarity. And then I talked about like the sweet and sour stuff for really like if you're Persian, like fuck being Chinese, let's all be Persian, yeah. If you're Persian and you start getting like acne or blemishes, your mom is gonna make you eat a lot of like warm, sweet and sour stuff because that's what they say gets rid of it. Also, this was really interesting. So the umami flavor that comes from the shiitake mushrooms has been shown to increase satiety and nourishment. So I love that. And then we're gonna add tofu to this. I actually thought I had silken tofu, but the tofu that I have it's like close to silken tofu. Like it's like very, very soft, and it's super, super fresh, but it's not quite all the way silken. I do recommend using silken tofu for this unless you don't like silken tofu, in which case use whatever the fuck you want. But you know, that's just tons of protein, which is so important for stabilizing blood sugar and helping keep you full and yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading my dog shit notes now and we can just move on to this bullshit. I feel like this is gonna take all day. I'm getting really bored. Also, I don't think this is so hot anymore. I can just hold it with my hand. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm bored. I want to move on. I can add more miso later. Okay, let's cut our tofu now. By the way, for the miso of it all, you want to aim for between 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of miso per cup of water. You can go ahead and do the math. I think a very safe place is around 2 teaspoons. I like to go closer to a full tablespoon per cup of water, but it's truly a matter of personal preference here. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, it is pretty silken, this tofu. It's really fucking good tofu. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I think you should do. Basically, I take these little jars and I make individual servings of this for the morning and make a huge fucking mess. And I love that. Ow, I keep burning myself. And then that way you can just take a little cup out of the fridge, throw it in the microwave for a little bit, and your breakfast is fucking ready. Like, you don't have to dick around too long. Also, I love how this is something people started doing like 15 years ago, but I just started eating breakfast. So I'm like, oh my God, have you heard of the idea of like meal prepping your breakfast? Like, as though I just like invented this novel concept. But here we are. I'm only gonna do 2 right now because that's just what we're gonna do right now. Okay, now I'm gonna plate some for me to have right now because I'm hungry and I want it. And I'm gonna pretty much do the same exact thing. The only thing I wanna do different for this is I'm gonna add some scallions on top because, well, because it's good, but the reason I didn't add scallions to the breakfast version is because I don't want to smell like onions when I go to my workout class. That's the only reason. Look at that. Is that not stunning? Do we love her? Love her. Okay, I'm so excited to taste this. Wait, I love this so much. I will say, if you're someone who doesn't like super tart flavors, either don't do the rhubarb or balance it with a lot of plum and apple. But if you like super tart, you will love this. Okay, no, episode over. I need to go sit on the couch, cuddling Sam and devouring this. Fuck me, that's good. I'm actually obsessed with this. Okay. I'm done. Also, Sam just got up. I think Sam wants to come say hi. Okay, I'm gonna go grab Sam. She's gonna say hi, and then we're gonna say bye, and we're gonna go eat. Oh, she just shook. She just shook because she wants to say hi. Okay. Sam says hi. Sam, look at the camera, mama. Look at the camera. Okay, I love you. Okay, and I love you guys. We're gonna go have dinner. You know, rate, review, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Wait, actually, could you comment what you eat for breakfast? Especially, I want to know, if you're a morning workout girl, do you eat breakfast before you go to your workout? And if so, what do you eat? Tell me in the comments. I legit want to know. Okay, bye. I'm freaking out. At least my outfit's cute.